Hey everybody, and welcome to another Koibu's Corner. This week we're going to discuss scripted events from the DM's perspective. So, at some point in every campaign, you're going to need some sort of scripted event to move the story forward. Scripted events are set pieces that change very little or not at all depending on player action. Things like the old man in the tavern who sets the party on their course, or the dragon who flies overhead and burns the village, or even a segment of pre-prepared dialogue an NPC gives out. They're all examples of scripted events. And there's nothing inherently wrong with scripted events. You just need to be careful when and how you use them. So, do you remember the movie Alien 3? At the end of Aliens, the second movie, Ripley saves Newt, that little girl, and escapes to safety in cold stasis along with Hicks and what was his name? Bishop, right? So the ending of Aliens is all about Ripley going back into the hellhole that is the reactor complex, completely infested with aliens, just to go and save Newt. However, Alien 3 starts off with the escape pod crashing and it just kills Newt, Hicks, and Bishop right away, completely rendering moot the whole ending of Aliens. This is an example of bad scripting, or a bad scripted event. It takes what the characters worked so hard to achieve and just ruins it so the DM doesn't have to deal with inconvenient NPCs or something like that, right? Nothing is gained story-wise by killing these people. Okay, now let's talk about the origin story for Dracula. The Count Dracula, back when he's alive, before he's a vampire, is off fighting the Turks in some horrible, horrible war. And after he's victorious, he comes home to the love of his life, his wife, who she's the light of his life, only to find that she's committed suicide after being tricked into thinking Dracula's dead. Dun dun dun. This is an example of a good scripted event. The death of his wife doesn't undo anything Dracula had been working for, and it actually further develops his character by throwing him into turmoil. We really actually only have two types of scripted events: those that occur when a character takes a certain action or arrives at a certain place, and those events that happen after a certain amount of time has passed. For example, an unstable rock formation that's going to collapse when someone walks near is a location-based scripted event and should trigger for anybody that walks near it, not just the party members. If an NPC is dying of some sort of disease and the party's on a quest to go get the cure, they should die by a specific date unless the party actually saves them. If the NPC is going to live no matter what until the party comes back from their mission with the cure, there was no reason for the party to hurry, and it's just going to feel like they wasted their time, or all their efforts to like speed things up were in vain, because it's going to feel really scripted when they show up and, oh my god, he's about to die quickly, we don't have much time. The time, if time's going to be a factor, let it actually be a factor. Don't pretend to have time be a factor. Did you get it? Okay, so let's talk about the do's and the don'ts of scripted events. Do: introduce characters the party hasn't encountered yet. Do: give detailed descriptions of new locations. Do: use environmental effects to set the mood. When a vampire enters a room, for example, a gust of wind blows out all the candles. Do: kill NPCs when the party isn't around. Do: kill NPCs in front of the party when the party can't reasonably intervene. For example, if you're at dinner with the king and his food gets poisoned and then he dies before you can even get over there to administer medical attention. It's time for some don'ts. Don't: kill NPCs the party are protecting in front of them. Don't script an assassin to murder someone while the party's walking down the street with them. Don't remove player control of their characters. Don't let PCs believe they can influence the outcome of something they can't. Plot armor? Come on, that's the ultimate screwing over the PCs, where they think they can kill someone but they really can't. Like, don't plot armor. Don't let PCs believe they can do shit that they can't actually do. Don't render character actions or choices moot. The whole NPC dying, or the whole dying NPC who somehow managed to stay alive just for long enough for the PCs to cure them. That whole, like, you're rendering their hurrying, their actions of trying to speed things up completely moot. It's just useless. Don't kill NPCs the party could save. If he's bleeding out in front of the party, they should be able to bind his wounds or use a healing spell or something. For example, in Final Fantasy VII, you have all these Phoenix Downs, yet Eris dies in front of you. Worst scripting ever. Use the fucking Phoenix Down on Eris. It'd be better if she fell off a cliff and just tumbled, and was too far away from the party for them to get to her. That would have been a great way to kill her, but not just like she dies in front of you when you can bring people back from the dead. Anyway, when in doubt, if you're having trouble with your scripting, imagine what you would want to do as part of a video game. Is this a cutscene that would happen and leave the players kind of frustrated, watching helplessly as these events unfold before them and they can't interact even though you kind of feel like they kind of feel like they should be able to? The characters should have a say, and the party should have and party actions or inactions should have an effect on the world. If they can hear, let's say the party hears about a cult who's going after this ring of three wishes, and the party totally blows off that storyline. Well, the cult should end up with that ring of three wishes, and the party should feel that in the world at some point. The party should build a story with you, not just do stuff while your story unfolds around them. Anyway, don't be afraid to use scripted events. They're a powerful tool for storytelling. Just remember they should add to your story, not force your story. GLHF, guys.